You gotta do better. Come on, you gotta do better. You gotta do better. You gotta learn to jump up. I'm not gonna be able to lift you like this anymore, buddy. You're getting too heavy. Okay. Good morning, and welcome to the Willow Rose Cottage. I need you to be closer to me, I think. You are closer. He says I am as close as I can get. Baby, I wasn't talking to you. Okay. But how am I going to get them here when you're here? Okay, you have to get down just for a minute, just for a second. Okay, hold on, just for a second. Is this better? Ow, don't bite me. I don't know if that's even better. You know what might be better is if I do it like that. Okay, come on. We got it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. We got it. Come on. Okay, let's try to jump. Come on. Come on. Okay. Okay, let's get up here. Come on, fat boy. Oh, God, you're getting so heavy. Okay, better. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I don't even know what I was gonna say. Ow, don't do that. Don't paw me. I don't like that. Okay. So I went out with a friend the other day for brunch, and she's a year older than I am, and she's already retired, and she has she decided when she retired that she was going to grow her hair out. And I'm always like excited when people have long hair. I used to have long hair, and I dream of having long hair, but I never, don't chew on that, I never let it grow. So anyway, when she retired, her hair was very, very short, and it's super curly, so beautifully curly. And so her hair is to her waist now, and it's these big, beautiful, just curls, and it's just so gorgeous. And she hasn't started graying yet, so she has this beautiful natural color hair, and it's super long, it's super curly, it's super gorgeous. And we were talking about she's a very, very, very strong feminist, and so I'm not so much. I'll be honest, I'm not so much. I'm not at all. I'm not at all. Don't unsubscribe from me because I'm saying I'm not a feminist. I'm not. I've never really been a feminist. I've always really loved like the cottage life, and I've loved homemaking and the domestic arts. So. And back in the day, I did really love having a husband and being a part of a partnership that way. However, since my divorce, I realized, which she and I had this conversation, that I think I've lost the plot somewhere, because when my ex-husband left me, one of the things he said is that like he never really enjoyed my old-fashionedness, right? What's he chewing on? Hold on. Oh God. If you're not going to behave yourself, you're going to have to get down, okay? You have to behave yourself. That's the rule. That's the rule. So when he left, I stopped being me. I started, I don't know if I was trying to change so he would come back to me, maybe psychologically, but he was already gone. He had left me for someone else, so he was gone. And after, I found out that he was living with her, like I didn't want him back anyway. So I don't know the psychology of that, or divorce, or when somebody that you absolutely adored, and I thought he was my soulmate. I mean, I really, really did. I thought we were going to go through infinite lives together. And so it really shocked me. It took me off guard. I had no idea he was even unhappy until the day he walked out and just blatantly said, I can't do this anymore. And I just laughed. I literally laughed, like, do what anymore? We were sitting at the table, right? At the kitchen table here in this house. And I didn't even get whatever. And he said, this, any of this. And I said, well, we can move. And he said, no, all of it, I can't do any of this anymore. And so it knocked me out of, I don't know, it just out of any form of security of who I was or who I am. And so it was 8 years ago. So it's not like this was a recent thing. However, after he left, I changed my entire wardrobe. I cut my hair off because I had really long hair. I cut my hair off, changed my wardrobe, changed everything about me, started wearing high heels. My hair was kind of in a big bouffant, it wasn't really it was like a French bob. And I just tried my hardest, I guess, to be sexy, right? So from that point, I went through a lot of phases. I'll just say I've just gone through so many phases in the last 8 years. And in that process, I've really lost the plot. I lost who I am. I've lost what I want. I've lost, I guess I was, as my friend said, I was dressing for the patriarchy. Now, she's a feminist. Those are her words, dressing for the patriarchy. And we just kind of had this conversation about how, I don't know, how I was so insecure by that loss of my marriage and in the beginning, I really did want to get remarried. I just was like searching for another husband, and that's why I changed, because but then I look back and I think, well, I would have gotten the husband I don't want, because I don't want a husband that wants a woman that's like polished. So the husband that I would have attracted if I would have attracted a husband, which I did go out with a judge, I went out with a doctor, I went out with really kind of that higher social climbing, whatever, or not social climbing, social ladder. So I did do that, and it just wasn't right for me. I didn't want to present that way. I just didn't. Even though I didn't want to commit to that for a lifetime. So I'm not really sure what I'm saying. However, one of the things I was saying with my friend Nikki, I did post a video. She came over and helped. She built the fence. She didn't help. She built the fence for the dogs. So I was talking to her just about how I feel like I've lost the plot. And one of the things that has helped me refocus on what's important to me and what I really want is getting Louie. Because Louie, and everybody, not everybody, I don't have everybody in my life. The few people that are in my life, all of them have commented and saying, oh, it's like you have something to take care of. It's something that you can look after, like you're not bored anymore. And I was like, in my life, I was never bored, but there was something missing. And that's because I always valued myself as a wife and mother. I just am that person. And then when all that was taken away from me, like, my children are far away, my grandchildren are far away, and then my husband left, and I did date a little bit, but I dated a model, and he was a model and a musician, and turned out to be a coke addict, which was not going to happen for me. And then, I dated somebody that I really liked, and I found out he was married, so that wasn't going to work for me. So there's been some mishaps in my dating history since my divorce. And so I just kind of gave up on dating. In fact, someone was asking me to go out. He's a peace officer or something. He was asking me to go out and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, there's no room in my life right now for trying to struggle through the initial parts of dating. Like, at this point in my life, it's not worth it to go through all that initial struggle to come out to the end. And I have to just tell you, I'm sitting here at 100% failure rate. So, I mean, I have failed at every relationship, which is, why I'm single. And so I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to go through that anymore. So one of the things I was telling my friend Nikki was that getting Louie hasn't given me something to care for or to look out after or whatever. It's given me partnership, which is really weird because I've never had a dog. I mean, I had a dog a long, long time ago, but it was my ex-husband's dog, and he took care of her and everything. So she really wasn't my dog in the sense that I have to do everything, and that he's bonded to me. And I think what it's done is it's giving me a partnership with someone or something or some spirit that's not judgmental of me, that doesn't care if I wear high heels or if my hair's chopped up in the back, or if I wear cottage dresses instead, old-fashioned cottage dresses instead of, really beautiful suits or business wear, or cute jeans with, really cute tops and boots and whatever. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. In fact, he's even stopped chasing my hems. So he was chasing my hems and he stopped doing that. So that makes me really happy because I can wear my dresses again for my own self. So it's really funny. I just wanted to, I've been having these thoughts bounce around in my head for probably the last, since Tuesday, since I went out with Sandy, and then Nikki came over on Wednesday, the next day, and we kind of continued the thought because the thoughts have been in my head. So I just kind of wanted to sit down and talk about it a little bit and talk about how, I don't know, healing, everybody, not everybody, again, I don't have an everybody, but psychologists on like YouTube and stuff like that, because I have been watching a lot of YouTube videos on puppies and raising puppies and about puppies and all the things about puppies and dogs. And one of the things that actually Cesar Millan says is that you don't always get the dog you want, you get the dog you need. And I know that some of you remember, act like it was ancient ago. It was only like a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I was like at my wit's end with this boy. I was just at my wit's end. And I was just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And he has grown up a lot in those 2 weeks. Like, he's letting me know when he has to go outside to go potty. He has had a couple pee-pee mistakes, but no poo-poo mistakes. So I'm just realizing so much about how much I needed him just to make myself, I don't know. I guess I still don't know. The thoughts are still bouncing around. I apologize for that. But I just wanted to do a quick little update about this boy and how much his energy and his absolute love is healing me after 8 years of struggling from the loss of my marriage. That I unexpectedly have found my medicine. I've unexpectedly found my medicine, and his name is Louie, and he's a big boy. On a side note, I have been wondering if he's a pit, because everybody keeps telling me he's a pit. But then I go on like Reddit and they say that Great Dane puppies are mistaken for pits all the time. So I was like, well, I don't know, I guess. I have a DNA test. I just have to get him calm enough that I can stick it in his mouth for 60 seconds without him eating it to take the DNA test. So then I'll know for sure. But I was sort of kind of just coming to the realization or the acceptance that he might be a pity and not a Great Dane. So I'm okay with that. Either way, I love him. However, when I was out walking him recently in Colombia, there's this guy, and he has a pitty named Lucy, and I saw him probably about 2 weeks ago with Lucy, and then I saw him again a couple days ago, and oh my gosh, he's like, is that Louie? And I said, yeah. And he's like, my God, he's grown just since I've seen him. And I was like, really, has he? And he's like, look at him next to Lucy, and he's like this much taller than Lucy, and Lucy's a full-grown pitty. So I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with that. Just a little update on Louie. My love of my life. maybe I finally met my soulmate. You think I finally met my soulmate?